Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to the masterclass, my psychic masterclass. Let's stretch your psychic muscle. My name is Samaya, your hostess for today and your facilitator. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm going to give everyone a minute to come on, and bear with me also, because I need to call. Okay, give me a second. Yay! So hello everyone. So nice to see you. Come on in and say hello. I would like to see where everyone is at. Share with me where you're actually at the moment, where you're based in the world as you're watching this. And I'm just going to open my phone to see your comments, because I noticed that when I do a live from a laptop, I can't actually go to the can't see the comments unless I have it open on my phone. Yay, I can see you. Hi there, Leslie. Lovely to see you. Hi, Latavia. May's here. Heather is also here. Lovely to see you, ladies. Come on in and say hello. Hi there, Debbie. Subuhi. I hope I'm pronouncing your names correctly. Welcome, welcome. So lovely to see you. Toronto, Canada. Seattle. Nice. I didn't realize, Mother, you're in Seattle. Zaid is from South Africa. Beautiful. Lovely. So nice to have you all here. Heather is in Connecticut. Oh, beautiful. I love Connecticut so much. San Francisco Bay Area. Nice. India. Wow. What an incredible range of countries and cultures here. I love it. So for those of you who don't know, guys, I'm actually Greek originally. I live in the UK. I've lived here for 25 years. It's pretty much my spiritual home. It's where I've been and where I'm growing my family, and where I feel very nourished and very kind of, yeah, it's been a place where it's been a major kind of spiritual journey for me living here. It's been a real place for unfolding into my own, coming into my own, I guess, power. But it's really lovely to have you here. So what I'm doing right now, you're going to see me as I'm talking to you. I'm going to be talking on the screen, but I'm going to be turning on my phone to see your comments. Hi there, Shirley, Alberta, Canada. Beautiful, really lovely. So that's because I'm having two screens here, and I'm also recording the replay, which is where you're going to be able to access up until Sunday, the recording of this masterclass, okay? If for whatever reason you need to go, you can revisit, but only until Sunday. And guys, I'm giving the biggest giveaway I've ever given on a masterclass or in an event that I'm running. And that's a lifetime access. Well, it's a year long, because I've run it for a year, a spiritual membership. So if you really want to qualify for it, you want to take part into my little psychic exercises, so that you get to qualify, you get to take part, and you automatically enter the draw for the actual prize. Yeah, so I'm going to make the announcement on Monday morning for whoever gets to win this. Yeah, and mainly I want to do this because I do want you to participate, because I know what a block it can be for people, because we haven't had that as part of our education and our cultural bringing, this whole kind of connection to our psychic gifts, which I personally find very organic, part of who we are, part of our ecosystem. It's not something that's been part of our reality, part of our education, part of our conditioning. And I know that preparing ourselves and getting into the mindset of, this kind of skill and a gift being kind of an innate aspect of our nature, to really grasp that on a deeper level and to really do something with this, we can have a bit of a some kind of unconscious block, and there can be a bit of resistance. So I'm really kind of wanna in a way honor those who show up to take part in this masterclass by offering a big gift at the end. Yeah. So Kristen is in Canada. Wonderful. Good morning. Florida, Mary Jane. We've got such beautiful countries, so I love it. So guys, welcome. And I'm super excited doing this class. I've run it once before. It did really well. It amazed me to see, I guess in a way confirmed what I was always kind of saying around this, that it is an innate gift and it is something that we can all connect with. And by the end of this masterclass, not only you will have connected to your own psychic dictionary, I will take you through the process. You will also get to practice a little bit of reading. And you're going to choose a person in your life right now that you're going to connect with. So I'm going to get you to practice on something, okay? So that you can see what is possible. Just a little bit of a taster. We're only going to exercise. We're going to warm up the muscle. We're not going to do some heavy lifting today. Don't worry about that, okay? But also want to tell you a little bit about what this class is going to cover. I want to let you know that at the end of this, we're going to have a little energetic activation. It's different to what I send you. I send you a little gift, which is from one of my Atlantean guides. She's incredible. Her name is Zaria, and she did an Atlantean activation, really connecting you to your ancient soul gifts that perhaps were lost since the fall of Atlantis, okay? So whatever you think or feel or not feel about the situation, there's an activation there that you can benefit from. So this, what we're going to do today at the end of the session is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to connect you to your soul energy. Because essentially, one of the things that I want to start with by saying is that connecting with your soul, with your psychic gifts, is not just a connection to your gifts themselves. It's essentially a soul activation. When it does get integrated, when we do kind of make it more part of our ecosystem, as we get to practice, integrate, and get to develop that self-trust with the information we're receiving, what you'll find is that you're opening up the door gates to a lot more information being channeled through your soul energy as well. Okay, so I'm a real strong believer on this, that opening up to your psychic gifts essentially is opening up and deepening your connection to your own soul energy. There I am, I said it, okay? Mumtaz says is in Cape Town. Wonderful. Welcome, Mumtaz. Lovely to have you. And just, of course, to start with saying that there's many people who teach psychic development. I do it in the way that it's not been taught to me. I'm doing it in a way that feels extremely organic and totally personal to my, I guess, style and facilitation as a psychic development teacher. And that, you know, sometimes it's good to see different perspectives. So you might be quite experienced. You might have had a different perspective. All I ask from you is to have an open mind, and to just test things out and just see what you get from this, okay? So I want to also let you know that we're going to cover a few things that are essentially are an overview of a little bit of my 3-month mentorship on psychic development, which I'm going to be starting next week. And you're all going to be invited to come on board if that resonates for you, if you got enough from the class and you feel you want to go a little bit deeper with this. So only doing a very brief overview, but enough to really set a strong foundation for you. So I'm really going to cover some extremely fundamental things that are going to set you up to really get started, to really understand where the muscle is, to first of all identify it, really on a visceral level, see where it is, right? And then kind of starting to kind of play a bit with it, warming it up and working with it, playing with it, experimenting, okay? So I'm going to tell you about my 3-month mentorship at the end. And I want to also let you know that, you know, a lot of this kind of experience of deepening into our psychic gifts is a process that happens through a practice, okay? Practice is absolutely essential. And just to tell you, because we are going to be focusing on clairvoyant seeing a kind of energy, okay? So we've got all our 6 clairs. And a lot of us tend to start with our claircognizance and clairsentience. So we could get it, you know, when you get a gut feeling about something. So this is going to be about your clairvoyant vision. So this is about seeing. And the reason why I start like this, okay? First of all, just to let you know, I've always been more of a clairsentient person. I got a feeling, a sense of something. Trust me when I tell you, when I went into my psychic development process, and I learned with a teacher, I never thought that clairvoyant vision would be something I would develop. That was the least strong of my skills. Now it's the one that's the strongest and extremely detailed, and that I rely and trust the most. Of all the skills I have in my life, I'm an energy worker, I'm a really good business coach, alignment coach, energy work I've been doing since 2006. However, my clairvoyant skill is the thing that I've trusted the most. And the reason I hone into this in today's training, and I want to start with this, is for this reason, is because this is the skill. When you start seeing energy and translating energy, when you see it, you cannot unsee it. For me, my clairsentient sort of my sense, my gut level feeling, which can be easier to bypass, I got to trust into my skills as a psychic and to trust my intuition when I was able to see images of a situation unfolding in front of my, mind's eye. Yeah. When you see something, it's a lot easier to put your feelings on one side and just actually follow the narrative and make a decision on the basis of what you see. Yeah. So for instance, it's like if somebody shows you the color green, okay, you cannot, and in a way you had a feeling that the color you would see is green, but when you see the green, you cannot unsee it. You cannot say it's yellow. Okay. So it really changes the game in terms of feeling of trust, the feeling of trust you get, and the experience you get in making decisions from then onwards. Okay, so that's why I want to focus on your clairvoyant skills. Okay, so let me tell you a bit of an overview what we're going to cover. We're going to cover mindset. Mindset is the foundation for everything, as you get to know. I'm going to tell you the kind of specific mindset that is important when it comes to practicing warming up your psychic muscle. And from then onwards, if you want to take it deeper to really develop it as a skill, okay? So we're going to talk on mindset, but also I'm going to tell you a little bit about the kind of energy you get to also step into, because one of the things I do as part of my psychic development, not every coach does that, not every psychic development teacher. In fact, probably not many do this. I'm an energy worker. I truly believe that setting up your energy for neutrality, neutralizing your energy so that you get your bias out of the way, can be super important. And I've got just the practice for that, okay? We're going to have a little bit of an experience of that practice later on as well. So you're going to see what it's like to neutralize your energy, get yourself out of the way so that you can read energy, objectively, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we are going to, I've written notes on this, although I tend to kind of want to improvise with that stuff and kind of it's all pouring out. I've made notes of the key things I want to cover. Then we're going to talk about the setting the intention, how we do that, how then we we ask the right set of questions, how to know what to ask so that we get the best, support, the best advice and insight for a highest good. So that's going to be an important thing to know. We're going to talk also a little bit about this preparation of space energetically, when you're going to be asking questions, when you want to tune into energy, okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit, I guess, about the crux of readings, okay? When you do a reading, we're going to talk about reading the energy. There's two foundational aspects. It's reading the energy. Once you set the stage, once you kind of really set the foundation and you ask the right questions, then you want to read the energy and then you want to translate the energy. Those are the two things that I go a lot more in depth into my 3-month mentorship and really helping create that sort of safe space for people to practice this. Yeah. And of course, then we talk a little bit about that sort of element of trust that builds through practice and how that process of integration, how integral that is to really creating a foundation in your practice and in starting to open up to your gifts and also to want to continue, guys. Because if you say, do this class today with me and you do a little bit of your warm-up, in a way, the warm-up is great, but for you to want to continue to testing out that muscle, to really working through your, your practice and really going deeper into asking those questions, receiving information, trusting the information before you, of course, do anything with that information. You need to kind of, in a way, keep on doing it. You need to feel integrated enough so that it doesn't feel like an alien practice to you. It doesn't feel like a strange kind of thing to do. Because as I said earlier, you know, the thing with psychic development, the thing with something that is so innate, it's actually that we've never been taught this from our families. We've never been taught in school or any trainings or working environments as we were growing up. It always felt like this very woo-woo external thing, like most likely something that very few gifted people do, which is a whole lot of bullshit, personally, I would say. And actually, we did not realize that, no, this has been ingrained to all of us. But I truly believe that although it is an innate kind of skill, it's also, there is a bit of an element of a gift with this, yeah? I think our psychic intuition and our ability to read and translate, interpret energy is a gift given to us by our higher self. But like any gift, we need to open it up. We need to basically be wanting to see what's inside. Do you see what I mean? So there's an action involved. There's a sort of energy that involves us, that it requires us to step in and do something about it. And the reason why it's presented as a gift is because it's protected information. So for those of them who have a very sort of like, genuine desire to connect with the information coming from their higher self and channeled from elsewhere, I think there needs to be a genuine desire to want to do that, okay? And to be used for good. So I think there's a little bit of it's an interesting thing there going on. So, but as I said, it's definitely very much an innate thing, okay? So shall we get going? I really want to get started about the really cool foundational stuff, which I think is going to change the game when it comes to not only learning to stretch your psychic muscle, but anything you set your mind to learn. It's extremely important to be able to do it successfully, okay? So mindset is huge for that. And the main thing when it comes to, I really use this in everything I do in my life, in my work. I'm really a strong believer on creating momentum. And the practice of creating momentum is essentially the mindset you want to adopt when it comes to training your psychic muscle and opening up to your psychic gifts and your abilities, okay? So in a way, that does mean that you know that when you start, it's not going to be the same place that you're going to be 2 months down the line. You know there's a slow build-up. You know there's a practice that you're putting in place and that you're not going to be quite as good at the beginning, right? All you need, though, is to give yourself permission to build momentum and to gradually develop, okay? So creating momentum is essentially a lot more comfortable for our nervous system and a lot more gives us the ability to really trust and not really go hard on ourselves, okay? So you need to be patient with yourself. You need to give yourself permission to just practice and to make mistakes and to not always read or translate the energy correctly. Because initially, when we get started, and as you'll see in a minute when we practice, what we do essentially at the beginning is really train ourselves, the two parts, as I said, to first read the narrative of the images that will pop up. You get to learn to read the narrative. And then the second bit is the learning of translation. Have you ever learned a new language? Have you ever experimented with learning any language? What you find at the beginning is that you get a lot of things wrong, right? You have to read it over and over again before you pronounce it correctly. And then, even when you hear somebody speaking that language, you might get quite a few mistakes. You might not translate it sort of well or appropriately or whatever, but that's understandable, right? So that's something that we expect to happen. But as we build momentum, what we need to be focusing, what we need to pay attention to is where we start to see a little bit of consistency, what starts to be working, what starts to feel a little bit more comfortable. So you might see, for instance, and it's something we do in my mentorship. We tend to focus when we practice, we do like a minute to 2 minutes maximum of focusing into energy. When we're going to read energy of something, we're going to spend like a minute or two. You're going to try it in a minute, you'll see. But so we don't overstretch it, because we need to kind of like start connecting with the narrative, and we want to wait for the dust to settle. But you might find, as you build your consistency, as you create your own rhythm, that you'll see how long it takes you for you to really tap into the energy. It might be, for a person, it might be 10 seconds. For another person, it might be 30 seconds. For another, a minute. So you start finding and enrolling into a consistency that works specifically for you. And once you identify a little bit of a pattern, you start to create more of a habit, and it starts to feel more like the norm. So, in other ways, what I'm trying to say is, like, when you establish a practice, or when you start with something, it's like building a momentum is essentially creating a habit, and you want to, with your mindset, to really start focusing on the stuff that you're getting right, to see like, okay, that worked. I really saw the energy, I read it correctly, or the narrative I saw was great. I might have translated it in a wrong way, but what I saw was correct. The interpretation of the energy is something that comes over time. Okay, so one thing to understand as we're building the momentum is that, you will find yourself at times, maybe not always quite ready to read the energy, or you feel a little bit too bogged down by your own stuff. So what's really important when we're starting is to get ourselves out of the way, which is why neutralizing an energy will be very important. So what I do is I give a small audio, a sort of alignment meditation that is essentially an energetic process that helps people come into neutralizing their energy. So they get themselves out of the way, and they're much more able to receive information and tap into the energy of what's really going on. So in a way, for somebody might be like, I'm not into meditation. Great, go and do a walk in nature, right? Or you might just have a shower, or you're into sports. It could be journaling. You get your own mental processes out of the way. So you'll find you connect with a little bit of a practice that works for you. However, as you get more experience, you won't take long time to really get ready to really get yourself set the stage and get ready to read energy. You might find like, I don't need to do any of those. I just cleared my field. I take a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, to just kind of really prepare myself, bring my energy back to myself, call all parts of myself back to myself, and give any energies that belong to other people elsewhere, neutralize my energy. And then, I get to tap into whatever energy I want to tap into. Yeah. So, and often we might need to raise our energy a little bit. So if you're feeling too down, or, disappointed, or whatever's going on, you might want to bring your energy to feel a little bit more higher up, because the energy of neutralizing, if you look at the emotional guidance scale, you'll find it's kind of in between the sort of bottom of the lower vibrations and the low energy. Yeah. So it's kind of somewhere halfway, but it's definitely not a low vibrational energy, the energy of neutralizing. So whatever happens, however you want to do it, through an energy audio, or through an energetic clearing, or through a walk in the park, or whatever, you just want to find yourself stepping into some kind of energy of neutrality. Yeah. So you want to just be aiming for that. Now, we talked about mindset, and we talked about creating the momentum. So for a lot of people, that momentum might be, I remember when I was doing, when I was practicing I was doing reading since 2010, but I was doing it differently through the coffee grounds. So it was kind of very particular, had a very particular skill where I would read different patterns for people, and then I would channel information. But after I started working with clairvoyant vision and other of my class, I just kind of like had a go to people that I would practice on. So I chose people that I wanted to practice on, and then I would ask them questions to see if that was correct, you know, if what I found about them was the information I received was correct. So that was kind of, it really helps to create that momentum through finding people that would volunteer to be read on, and then to give you some feedback on this as well. Again, in my 3-month mentorship, it's a really kind of strongly practical course. So you get to practice as well quite a lot with other people in the course, as well as with other family members and other scenarios that I get to give you every week. So that's something to bear in mind as well. But generally, setting the momentum by giving yourself some sacred space to practice, however you want to do it, I think it will be really helpful. Okay. So we talked about that and the energy setup. So I want to do the first little exercise with you, okay? Because we're going to move into, you know, the whole thing around asking questions and setting the right intention for a reading, okay? But first I want to try something with you, yeah? So get ready. This is not going to be about you doing a reading. This is going to be about you checking that your reading projector, your images projector, your mind's eye projector is working. Okay, this is super simple. You can't possibly get it wrong, but you're going to test it out. Okay, yeah. First of all, I want you to close your eyes for a minute. Now, when you do readings, do you need to always close your eyes? No. However, at the beginning, I personally always recommend it and suggest to everybody to do it, because what you're doing and something you learn to do is focus from the external stimuli to the internal, because essentially reading energy comes from the internal stimuli, right? So, and that takes a little bit, that's another part of the transition that we get to learn to do, which can feel a little bit of a, you know, obstacle for people. It can be a little bit of a challenge. So it really can be very beneficial to actually literally just close your eyes, let the dust settle for a minute, and just call back your energy. So you call back your energy by maybe asking your name 3 times, saying your name 3 times, and asking yourself to come back here now, okay? Say your name 3 times, just call yourself back in. So let's just see how you start to focus on reading energy. I'm going to ask you first to test out that projection screen, okay? So I want you to start to see that it's that it works. So I want you to visualize a lemon. Can you all visualize a lemon right now? Again, this is not a psychic reading, but it's just you testing out that you can visualize something right now. Can you visualize a lemon? If you can visualize a lemon, it might be that you want to visualize something else. I don't care what it is, but just call in an image, okay? I want you to then, by visualizing this, I want you to understand that it's not much different reading energy and reading images from your mind's eye. However, those images that you would read in a psychic reading, they will not be called in by you. They will not be instigated and initiated by you. The images that you read in a psychic reading, as we'll see later, they will be on the basis of your question. There will be a narrative that will reveal itself to you, okay? But what I want you to, the reason I'm asking you to visualize a lemon is to see where your mind's eye is, and that you're exercising your mind's eye, and that it's working, right? So everybody I can see here that people are sharing that yes, they can see a lemon. Great. So what you've just tested is that your mind's eye, the projection that happens from your mind's eye is working. So it's like the lens of your mind's eye is working. You're starting to locate what that psychic muscle is, even though in a psychic reading, as I said, that will be projected from elsewhere. That will not be instigated by yourself, okay? So that's great. Now, before we get into the psychic, I want to connect you with your psychic dictionary. I want to talk a little bit about asking the right questions and setting the intentions. And we'll come back to reading energy in a minute, yeah, because I really want to set the intent for the stage for everything. Well, yeah, absolutely. So you have responses. You said that your mouth started to water. So of course, we'll have responses. And actually, equally to having responses to an image that you actually initiated, that you asked, you called forth, even it will be the same when it comes to receiving information that come to you psychically. You might get your mouth to water, you might start feeling pains in your body. When I tune into the energy of a person that has heartache, my heart hurts, I start to feel that I'm experiencing heartache. Somebody having a headache. I remember working in a disability advice agency, and somebody who was an alcoholic had rung the number to ask for advice for something. And I was reading, I kept on smelling alcohol. And just later on in the call, he said, oh, and I do have an alcohol problem and I'm receiving services there, And it was interesting because you start tapping into everything else as well, will start to kick in. So when you focus on one psychic clair, one of your psychic gifts, the other ones will start opening up as you tap into the energy. They kind of flow in, they start coming through. So before you know it, you start hearing stuff. Other people will feel things more. Other people will kind of, you'll feel the scent. You might taste something. So that's part of the process as well as you're opening up, yeah? And you'll see that in a minute. We'll do a little bit more, kind of a little bit more in-depth practice. Now, you want to be asking, you want to be setting an intent. So the intent is important because you kind of like clarifying what you need to tap into. Before you tap into a narrative, before you tap into an energy of something, you want to identify who you're going to be tapping into or what. So is it a situation? Are you focusing on the dynamic between people? Often I get asked about love advice, or is this relationship going somewhere? Is this compatible dynamic? So that's, again, that's a scenario, that's a dynamic. It could be like the energy of a home. It could be about a person. So the intention is essentially you identifying who you're going to be tapping into, okay? And essentially then the second thing you need to do is to kind of, in a way, ask a question. And the question will start revealing things for you. Now, what I found through experience is that you can be loaded with information and you can start seeing a narrative that in a way can confuse you sometimes a little bit. So it can be very helpful to keep the question very simple. Or personally, I like to always start by asking to be shown what's going on for that person right now. So you might have a desire to connect with the future of a relationship, yeah, or to how relationship will unfold. But I would say start first with like asking and tuning into like, okay, show me a little bit about what's going on with this person right now, where they're at, okay? And you'll be shown the present situation or perhaps a little bit of the past as well. So once you set the stage, then what happens? You start also kind of warming up a bit. You start tuning in with the images. You start connecting with the energy of a person. And you'll do that in a minute. You'll see, we will practice this. You will see this panning out, okay? I promise you, you will see this happening. So you start to set the stage by a question. Okay, show me a little bit, where is that person right now? What's going on with them energetically? What's happening? Show me. And often you get to be shown someone's personality, what they're like. If somebody who's very talkative, if somebody who's like generally quite busy, somebody who's like kind of a bit of a loner, you get a bit of the sort of generic energy of the person. Let's say if we're reading for a person. And then you can say, okay, once you received enough of that, you can, and you let that narrative unfold and you get a sense of it, then you can ask, I would really like to know, how is this person feeling about me right now? What's happening? What's the feeling towards me? And one of the beautiful things when you're reading energy is that the psychic realm speaks to you in many different ways. It's almost like a bit of a surreal landscape. So you might get a symbol, you might get a scent, you might get a feeling, okay? And I'm going to connect you with your own psychic dictionary. You'll get a sort of flavor of what that's like, as well as get an exercise on a person later on. But generally speaking, what you want to do is you want to tune into and feel, bring your fullness, all your senses, all your awarenesses, to really connect and tap into not only the images you see, you want to see how it feels. You want to see if is there a particular texture, is a particular color you see. And as you go on, you'll see there's a bit of a theme. Certain things mean like particular things for you. Yeah. So everyone has their own psychic dictionary. So for me, when somebody's asking me about relationship and I get the image of the clock, I know that in my psychic dictionary that the clock is essentially divine timing. Or when I see the color white and flowers in relationship, I see that there's a genuine, authentic, pure intent there. And there's a purity in the connection. There's a genuine kind of connection there. Yeah. So you get to really tap into a bit of an Alice in Wonderland world, really. And you get to kind of start to decipher those images in a way that, kind of your senses giving you a full picture of something. So you might see a color red and you might feel like there's an energy of passion coming there, or you might get a feeling that feels a little bit like, makes you feel a bit anxious. So those feelings are really important. They are information. It's information you are being given when it comes to deciphering an image. So you might ask to read an energy of a person, what's going on for them, and you might see that they might struggle a bit. You start feeling heart palpitations. So something's going on for them there. It could be anxiety. It could be that they have a heart condition. So all these are cues and clues as to what's going on for that person. And because sometimes, especially when we start, it can be quite a kind of like, in a way, there's so much information to take in. That's why I always say, keep it simple. Just ask a question to be shown initially what's going on for that person. And then you can bring a bunch of clarifying questions on top of that. Does it make sense? Is everyone following so far? Because you don't want to overwhelm yourself, and because you want to take it on your stride and start reading information in a way that you can process, you can understand, and you can start making sense of. Okay. So so you can ask things like, in a way, what is the energy? How is this person? What's going on with this person right now? How they're feeling? You might ask, what's the energy around them right now? What's going on around them? How are they experiencing themselves? What's happening? So you might see they have a very hectic life. You might see that there's a lot going on. So, for instance, that can be very useful information if you're interested in someone and you find that someone is not getting back to you, or you feel there's a hesitation or whatever. And then you tune into the energy and you see gosh, there's a lot going on with this person right now. They cannot make this a priority. Ezra says, makes sense. I've had many visions, by interpreting them is always easy. Yeah. And actually, Ezra, this is actually the thing where, as a mindset, we need to cultivate and be the most patient. Interpreting the energy takes time, guys. But trust me when I tell you, I've done it. So many other people done it. It's a skill. That bit is a skill. It's not even necessarily a gift. It's it takes a bit of time and a bit of health space to be able to decipher the information in a way that makes sense. But the great thing is that we have all of our psychic senses that can give us clues as to certain things. When you feel anxiety or you feel a particular feeling, when you see certain images that also kind of, in a way, pointing towards certain something, and you start understanding certain things. So for instance, when people ask me about relationships, and sometimes I see people looking in different directions, and then I ask about the evolution of a relationship. I feel if it's not compatible, I will feel that lack of compatibility, but I will also see images that are pointing towards these people going into two different directions. Normally, when there's a coherence, when there's a congruence, when there's alignment between things, people, situations, the energy feels that, shows that, but it also you will see an image that kind of in a way shows something. It could be something blossoming. It could be, people looking at each other. It could be a lot of joy and happiness together. It could be so many different things. Yeah. And yes, it won't always be easy to interpret them, but we need to practice, and we need to, I'm going to share with you the most important thing when it comes to reading energy. You're going to have to trust yourself. You're going to learn to trust yourself over and over again as you're learning, as you're practicing. That is going to take some time. So you need to trust yourself. You need to always be like bouncing that information with people. You need to like really kind of in a way step into the energy of just really trusting the information you receive and not doubt it, But that, as I said, takes a little bit of held space of practice before you're able to really always fully do that. Yeah. But know that you will have a bunch of images, and you will have a set of like feelings, emotions, sensations, physical experiences to complement that as well. Yeah. Now, as I said, when we tap into energy, we spend about a minute tuning into the energy and allowing the narrative to unfold. And we're going to focus in a minute. I'm going to show you what that can be like. So you need to trust that practice will get you better. Okay, it will get you better. And also, as I said earlier, it takes a little bit of like a shift in our perspective and in our mindset to actually make that shift to focus on internal stimuli from our mind's eye, because we are always connected to so much external stimuli. So we trust what we see with our physical eyes. And in a way, it feels like such a leap of faith to make that transition, to go within and to look at the images that get projected out to us. Yeah. So for many people, that transition can feel terrifying, even like seriously terrifying, and to feel that they're not being delusional. And that's why I really recommend having a held space for practice to take place. Yeah. So, so it's kind of takes a little bit of time to adjust to your mind's eye and to really start trusting the images that pop out. So it's kind of like a process in essence, yeah, that you need to kind of build with and you need to trust over time. So I want to try a little bit of an exercise because I know I've talked a lot, but I want you to get tested something. I want you to get tested and to connect with your own psychic dictionary. Okay. I want you to feel into what I've just been sharing, because I think it's a lot more powerful when you do that. So is everyone happy to do a little bit of practice? So it's literally just taking a few minutes to connect with your own psychic senses. Is that all right? Shall we do that? And we're going to do that with something very simple. Now, let's get you ready. Okay, guys, so I want to get you ready. So first of all, and I'm going to get I need to get my workbook for this, because I know I sent you something. I want to find, let me open this up. Okay. Bear with me. Right. So let's connect you with your psychic dictionary for a minute. Okay. I want you to close your eyes. Beautiful. I love that you love it. Great. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes, guys. So I want you to connect. So I want you to, first of all, listen to the word yes. So I want you to connect with the energy of yes inside of you. Okay? When you hear the word yes, I want you to let the dust settle. When you hear the word yes, when you feel it in you, in your body, in your energy, if you were to identify a color around the word yes, what color comes up for you? What's the first thing that comes into your mind's eye that you see when you hear the word yes? And if you've got a pen and paper or the workbook that I've given you, please use it. What's your gut showing you here? Color yes. What color does yes have? And I want you to make a note of that. Beautiful. Yellow, says Shirley. And you don't have to share it with me, but you're very welcome to. But make sure you make a note for you. Now, when it comes again to the word yes, I want you to connect with the energy of yes. What's the energy feeling like? What's the energy of yes? If you were to identify it, what would you say it is for you? Nice. Beautiful. So hopefully everyone has the energy. Now, nice. The energy is kind of like the vibration, right? If you were to identify a texture, what texture does the word yes have? Can you tap into the texture? And trust what you get. Don't doubt it. Just make a note of it. Don't doubt and don't go looking for something else. If you fail, because it might even surprise you. It might not make sense with your rational mind. Now, taste. Do you get a taste? If yes, had a taste, what taste does it feel like to have? And if it has a sound, what sound does your yes have? If do you see any symbols around yes? I know Shirley mentioned the sun. Do you see any symbols? You don't have to see symbols, but if you do, make a note. Is there a symbol with your yes? Or perhaps do you see a landscape? Is there a landscape that you see? So connect with that. And finally, what's the overall feeling that you get when you connect with the word yes inside of you? What's the overall feeling? So connect with that. Now, I want you to let go of your yes, okay? We're just letting it go. I want you to now bring up the word no and let it vibrate in your energy. So feel, think, see, no. The word no. See what color that brings up, the word no. Now connect with a particular energy that it might hold. What's the energy, the vibration of the word no? And is there a texture that you can connect with? Is there a taste that shows up when you think of the word no? What's the taste no has for you? Everyone has a different. Nice. What about the sound? Is there a sound with no? What's the sound that you get from it? Yeah. So you get very specific qualities coming out of it. This is part of the warm-up, guys, that we're doing, right? You connecting with your own psychic dictionary. What's the overall feeling that the energy of no projects? What's the overall feeling it's giving you? Ah, interesting. And do you see a landscape or a particular kind of, you know, particular kind of image around it? Just notice what that landscape might be. Beautiful. So I want you to take a moment. If you need to make notes, please make notes. Right. Ezra says, like a pit in my stomach and a heavy chest. We also have no was gray and cold, somber, lonely, bitter. A cold winter feeling. Yeah, yeah. Somebody surely got a circle as an image for yes. Ezra said definitely sunshine, warmth, and softness. So I love this because I go happy and joyous for yes, the sun as a symbol for yes, yellow for yes, green for yes, yellow again. So what's wonderful about this, and I want you to see, this is just a little warm up. And what this warm up is your psychic muscle, right? You feeling into the energy of and the vibration that certain things hold, right? We can do that. We did this with the yes and the no, right? Which is very personal things for us. But a pull down energy for your no, great. But what you can imagine that you could do this, a color, energy, texture, taste, sound, image, symbol, overall feeling and landscape for people in your life, situations, homes, dynamics, relationships, workspaces, bosses, anything can go through the scan. Now, this is not a scan that we do when we do psychic readings. It's just something that to set the stage for everyone and to really see that, you know, you can connect your psychic senses and you can feel the vibrations and they give you some important cues, okay? It gives you clues that are very definitive, that are very clear, right? Now, we're going to move in a minute to doing a reading on someone, and I'm going to bring someone that I can give you feedback on. And I'm very curious to see how people do, because last time, I'm going to give you two examples. Last time I got such incredible information from people who have never psychically connected with anyone before. So I want to see you what is possible. I want to show you what is possible, right? But tell me, how did you find this exercise? Was it pretty straightforward to connect with the energies, the textures, all this kind of information? How did you find that? Was it good doing that? Felt pretty straightforward so far? Because you gave a lot of feedback here, so I can tell that you got lots of information. And you can do this exercise anytime you want, by the way. Let's continue with the practice. Now, you're on a roll. You really like it, Leslie. Wonderful. This is just the beginning, guys. This is just a little bit of warm-up. If you have an idea, I want to give you a bit of an example, right? I'm really good with numbers. I'm very good, like at very detailed information, dates for launches, people's businesses, like I like psychically channel for all my clients. I was hired by this like really accomplished coach who was really kind of like doing quite well, but she had a sort of like an idea of what kind of money she would manifest in her next business year. What's very interesting is that she was getting like about 250,000 grand for a year's kind of like revenue. Yeah. When I kind of tuned into the energy, you know, of her income for the year that was to come, I got the number 450,000 pounds. And she was shocked to see what was possible for her to experience. And as it came to be, over the months that came, her you know, her income was increased so much more that she seemed to be on that trajectory for £500,000. So, and what was interesting, you will say like, well, okay, so you channeled a number, but you know what happens when you give information to people? It's almost like it gives them permission. When you start acknowledging, when you start seeing, even if it's not major, if it's not big, even if you don't channel the future, even if you channel the present, and you just give a piece of information based on the images you got, the numbers, the sensations, when they click and people say, oh my gosh, that's exactly where I'm at right now. Like I can like tell you exactly what's going on in your business, but tuning into your energy and see where it's out of alignment and what's happening and where the block is. When you share that information, it could be even like a few seconds that you've channeled, a few minutes for a person. The level of trust that people develop with you, how they get to deepen that connection because you manage to really see what's going on with their energy right now is huge. It's not even about the result of the information you give them, is the fact that you were able to tune in and see exactly what was going on for them. It really has been a fantastic skill in my business. Not to mention my son, not to mention my family members who are not able to always tell me exactly what's going on for them, or they don't have the words, or they don't really have the emotional kind of openness to communicate certain things. The level of trust that has instilled in me to be able to really serve them and to be able to really see what's really going on has been huge. And I want to share this with you because it's such a kind of small shift, but such an important shift it can create in our lives and in the level of self-trust that we have. Like, I know if I need to go somewhere, how I need to, the journey I need to make, if I need to make some changes in my schedule, I trust more because my psychic intuition has become a lot more of a sort of bigger part of my kind of ecosystem. And now it's like I don't rely outside of myself for information. I really kind of come back to me to get the answers I need for things, you know. And actually, even in my business, I've been really kind of moving in my business in a way that has been really guided by my own internal compass. My strategy has changed completely. The information I get around how to run my programs. When I ran my membership just before the pandemic, I got a message, and I had left my work to step fully into my business. I got a message about my next money move psychically, and it made me money like consistently every single month through a membership I created. That was just a message that I got. I had no intention of creating a membership. Not only I got the information about the membership, I got the name for it, when I should launch it, everything. And I, from one day to the other, like from within a period of 2 weeks, I started having like £500 in my income consistently every month just from launching this membership. So it's like the shifts can be incredible. Or just, I think I mentioned, I took my son to an osteopathy appointment, and I knew the exact moment where the intervention of the osteopath, she was making the slight adjustments, it started, I really felt the energy flowing, and I really felt the relief the body was experiencing. One of the biggest things have been really, I had really strong feelings for somebody. It was somebody in my community that I knew and I liked, and he was a very confused individual. And he was coming out with some information that was really wrong, that was really not true. And I was able to see that what he was saying was not true. I saw him going back together with his ex while he was trying to like kind of create some connection with me because he really liked and enjoyed and wanted to benefit from having access to my energy. Being able to see and trust, it's so simple, so small, so fast. I saw this guy moving in a different direction, getting together with this woman. That wasn't me. And I'm sharing this because something very powerful happens in your life when you start believing and trusting the information you receive. And they all start from small things, from small practices, from consistently showing up and putting in the work, right? So I want to sort of like give you a little bit of a taste of how powerful it can be when you start being guided by your internal compass. And you know what? I've got a little bit of a curiosity thing. So for me, it's not so much even the prediction element of psychic sort of insight. It's more about really it's really helped me step into this sort of space of trust. Like, as I said, I don't rely on external situations as much to guide me. And just having that trust has meant a lot for me, for my nervous system, and for just being able to make stronger and more confident decisions going forward. And that has been the biggest gift for me. You might find a different reason for it. So everyone will have a different hook. And understanding what the hook is for you is important. So my day-to-day rituals, like choosing what I make for food and all those things, again, are kind of being guided by my intuition. It's not just always tuning in like that. It happens more spontaneously now. I don't even need to close my eyes to see something, how it's unfolding. I just step into the energy and I let that energy show me what it needs to show me. And I just take it on board, you know? And essentially, it's all about living a life of alignment. For me, psychic intuition and the wisdom and the insight I get from it just has allowed me to live my life so much more in alignment in every single area of my life. And you know what, as an emotional being, especially as women, it's really valuable if you're feeling something very powerfully, but then you see something that shows you differently and you feel like, oh, so that was a bit of an irrational thing because what I'm being shown here is something very different. So for me, that's been life-changing, actually. So just wanted to share those things with you, okay? But I want you to now do a little bit more practice, okay? Are you ready for a bit more practice? Because I love to do this with you. Okay, I know who I want you to channel on. I want you to tune in. So first of all, set the intent. You don't need to, when you tune into somebody's energy, you don't need to know what they look like. You just need a name. All you need is a name, okay? So you call in that person's name. The least you know about people, the easier it becomes. At the beginning, it can feel scarier, but the easier it becomes as you go on. Because if I tune into the energy of somebody I know, I've got my biases, I've got my emotions around this person. But when I tune into the energy of somebody I don't know, it's so much easier. I know nothing about them. I only go with the images I get, yeah? So, okay, I want you to think of my son. His name is Chaska, which is Chaska. And I want you to tune into his energy. And I want you to ask, show me what is happening with Chaska. Samaya's son, Chaska. What's going on for him right now? What is his energy like? What is his mood like? What's happening? So take yourself a minute for the dust to settle. And by tuning into the energy, you're essentially bringing your awareness and your attention to that person. You don't need to know what it looks like. Just tuning into the energy of a person called Chaska. That's all you need for the reading to be effective, okay? So just see what comes up. I want you to see any images that pop up. And I don't even want you to worry about getting it right. I want you to just see the images or any sensations or any energies you pick up or any emotions and share those with me on the comments. Any emotions, any sensations, any images, you might get like a behavior or anything around this boy called Chaska. He's an 8-year-old, okay? He goes to school. See what you get. So you might get, when you tune into energies, you might see like characteristics, personality traits, behaviors. Like, as I said, if I see somebody, I tune into somebody who's like a very talkative person, I see them talk a lot, you know, so you'll see them showing up like that. And I want you to share with me, once you feel that you've seen a couple of things, or do you get a feeling when you tune into the energy of Chaska? Tell me what feeling you get in relation. Smiling but a bit sad, says Mary Jane. Anybody else? Tell me what feelings you get. Or if you get an image in relation to Chaska, what do you get? And guys, honestly, really trust what you get. Don't overthink it. You just go with what pops up. Ah, great. I'm curious. Okay. Right. I love all the stuff that's coming through. You have no idea. You have no idea what you're doing right now, how good it is. I want to see more coming in. Fantastic. Great stuff. Anything else? Any images, sensations? Great. I'm just going to give you another minute to see what other stuff comes up. And I want to share with you also that when we start practicing, obviously, this is a practice space, right? So you're meant to kind of like, at times you feel overwhelmed, but it's a practice space. One thing I would say is that it's always good to start practicing with things that don't mean much to you, because that means like you feel less kind of involved, less attached. So you can really focus when practicing on what someone has eaten, or on people who don't matter this as much to you, you know? I'm going to give another 30 seconds, and then you evolve the practice to things that, you know, as you neutralize your energy and get more experience and start trusting the information, you can practice on so many things. Like I honestly gave a reading on somebody I never met before that I saw going through such an intense emotional side, and I felt like it felt extremely scary, and I got overwhelmed by all these emotions. And I shared that, and she said, yeah, I was going through a really strong suicidal ideation in my life, but then I saw her really settling, and I said, like, but you seem okay now, and say, yeah, I'm really over this now. So here's the thing, I'm getting some incredible stuff from you guys that communicate many different things from his personality, likes and dislikes, but also like really spot on emotional states of him right now that he's going through, but lots of really cool personality stuff that are totally my son. So let me start sharing with you. Here's what I go. Smiling, but a bit sad. And then I started smiling and tearing up. Yeah, so he's quite a smiley boy. He's going through a bit of a tough time because his school, he's got a teacher that is very strict. He's not connecting with her. She's a bit too much into like punishing. He's feeling quite emotional about going to school. And every day I've picked him up, he's always ended up crying. Yeah. So just sharing this with you. He's having anxiety about school friends and judgment on him. He's very sensitive. Yes, Shirley's spot on. He's so sensitive, like 100%. Super sensitive boy. And again, this judgment, like every single day, I'm managing that with him. How to deal with, you know, a teacher that he's not connecting with, that he has very different kind of style to the way she teaches, is not what nourishes him. And he's been very lucky with teachers so far. So it's fantastic. Playful, smiley. Yes, he's very playful and very smiley. That's very much his personality. Heavy heart chakra and solar plexus. Yes. So solar plexus is a lot about, like, that's one of the things that we go very deeply into the 3-month mentorship, working with the chakras, understanding, and really I'm doing a bit of an in-depth course on the chakras as well, because it's such an incredible dictionary for deciphering information. I do it a lot with my clients as well. Like when you see where the emphasis is on each chakra, it gives you a lot of information on people and what's going on for them. Yeah, so I see him turning around to the left to look back at something. He's very focused on one thing. The heavy heart chakra and solar plexus to do with confidence, which is a little bit knocked right now. Heavy heart chakra, yes. His dad is also when he always struggles with that. Kristen says he has trouble sleeping at night. Yes, right now he's actually having trouble sleeping. He's been having quite a few nightmares and really kind of adjusting to all the stuff that's going on. There is something developmentally that he's struggling with. Interesting, Heather. I know that there's a physical thing developmentally going on for him at the moment. There's a couple of things, actually, developmental stuff. So spot on there. They're physical, right? Vision, wooden hut, shorts, cup, active. Yes. So his dad has a place with his dad and I are not together. We're good friends. So he has a garden hut. They're out in nature a lot. He wears a cup. Shorts, very active. Yeah, they're out in nature in the forest a lot. Right. It's right jaw, face and upper shoulder pain. This is from a past life. There's a sense of anxious and excitement. Very interesting. Very interesting. Whilst my son and I were in Disney, and we went through this, like, almost felt like the birth canal. We did a very traumatic roller coaster in the dark. I felt like I was going through some Egyptian initiation when we came out. It was completely in the dark and it was crazy ride. We didn't know when we went in. And he started talking to me about 3 past lives and that he was awakening to, that he was getting images from. So that's very interesting. Anxiousness and excitement. Yes. I smell baked goods and sweets. He's got such a sweet tooth, Ezra. It's really spot on. He's a very excitable boy, normally when he's not upset, which is a little bit at the moment. Red apple, 2 books, 1 green and 1 red. Fluid like water, easygoing. He's super easygoing. He recently bought a book that he's really loving. Yes, feel busyness, tingling in my hands and my arms. Definitely an only childlike energy. Yes, very much so. Is the teacher walking and pulling him by his right arm? I'd be very interested to know. I don't know if she's done that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, let me ask you, can you see what happens when you start tuning into the energy? You saw a teacher right away. How interesting is that? Yeah, because right now, this teacher is taking over his life right now. I'm trying to navigate him, help him navigate the fact that in life, he has a very nurturing circle where we really give space for emotions. We're not very punitive, but we're really kind of, we're very mindful, and he's had really incredible teachers so far. So it's a little bit of a shock to the system to have, and it was going to happen, at some point, to have a teacher that doesn't have that nurturing approach. And actually it's her first year and she's really stressed out. So, we're trying to navigate that. That's a very central part of his life right now, trying to navigate through this teacher and get him used to it, It's not sleeping very much, having nightmares and all that kind of stuff. Miss Trenchball. I don't know who she is, but yeah, I'm not a massive fan right now. So, but here's the thing, guys. Can you see what is possible when you tune into energy? And here's the thing, something that's going to be really important in your mindset when you start. We're going to do a little bit more exercise. When you start tapping into energy, what tends to happen is that you want to find where the hook is for you, what excites you about it. Like, honestly, once you find something that feels exciting for you about the process of growing with your skill, then it's almost like it's impossible not to grow in your practice, because you find the kind of thing, that the hook that is like really fun for you. For me, I've always had this thing, being very curious. When I was on the bus and going past people's houses, I always felt like this curiosity about people's homes and what they look on the inside. And it kind of feels very similar with the psychic readings. It's almost like you get an insight into a person's interior. Like, through social media, I connect so deeply with so many individuals just by simply kind of coming across their energy. I'm not going to have a nose around unless they've invited me to, but even just a psychic scan is almost like you seeing somebody as you go past on the street, right? It's like you really get so much about the depth of a person and the sort of energy signature. It's extremely exciting. It's very entertaining in itself, right? Even if you're not going to use it necessarily for like this deep level of insight or whatever, it can be a really very interesting tool that can give you some vital pieces of information that can help your friends. It can help your family members, your pet. I had one of my students the last course where she's an animal communicator and a very gifted one. She gave me one piece of information that has changed my relationship with my pet, that's brought so much more love there. And it's kind of really interesting because it's kind of really helps to create change, what you do with that information. And she wasn't even able, she didn't even give me so much, she just managed to read the energy and witness that we had a bit of a difficult dynamic. And just seeing that, having somebody witness that and tell me, gave me enough to want to like make some change there. So it can be even a very small piece of information that can change someone's life, and that it can really give them a prompt to want to do something about it. So from the movie Matilda, was it? Right. Yeah, it kind of has that kind of vibe in a way, but he's probably exaggerating it a bit in his young, kind of in his young heart. It feels even more exaggerated. I want you to do one last exercise, guys, just very small thing, yeah? I want you to tune into my energy now. Okay, I want you to, because I can see, I want you to see what's possible, and you can see already like how easy to tap into energy. The rest is just a matter of kind of refinement. Everything is a matter of refinement. So for a minute, just clear your mind now for a second. I want you to, bring me into your attention, Samaya. And just ask, what's going on with Samaya right now? Can you show me Samaya's energy? And share with me what you feel, what you connect with, what you see, what you sense, anything, texture, energy, whatever. What is happening with Samaya right now? What are the energies around her? What can you show me about Samaya? And just start noticing if there's an image, a narrative, anything. And I wanted to start sharing the moment you start, it clicks for you. You feel like, yeah. Could be a feeling, it could be an energy, an image, a symbol. And start sharing when you're ready. Again, we're not overthinking. It's just like you're trusting what you connect with, what you see. And it's a practice space, yeah? Do you pick up anything in relation? And there's no judgment here. Anything good, bad, and ugly, I welcome it. It's all good. And this is the thing, people really appreciate having this. Oh, Shirley, that's interesting. People really appreciate any insight you get on them. Like they really do appreciate it if you tune into them. Learning more into feminine energy lately. Excitement, white light from my sacral chakra, light up, very pure, vibrant, soft, but direct. Nice. Ezra, you're getting some really spot on, all of you really that you've shared, but I love how refined your readings are. It's interesting. Sacral is very much to do with creativity. I feel like deeply in my creative element right now. My creativity is like so sparked off. Vibrancy, soft but direct. I definitely am quite direct, but I think, there's definitely a softness. The child step forward, having fun, twirling, asking to release your grasp on a situation and come back to innocence is what I heard. Ooh, I like that very much. Eating lunch at the same time, so a little distracted. That's fine. Are you having a left arm issue, solar plexus power? Yes, definitely connected to my solar plexus. I'm not having any left arm issues at the moment, as far as I know. Inner child, yeah? Yes, my inner child is having a hell of a lot of good time at the moment. She's experienced a lot of healing in her life, so she's having a lot of fun. It takes us a while sometimes, but the inner child is having a lot of fun. Your love for people has expanded greatly. 100% I resonate with this. Shirley says, love. Yes, I'm in a very loving relationship that's just evolved over the last month and is going beautifully, and definitely feel a lot of love at the moment. Wow, these are great. Anybody else wants to share what they're picking up? Anything at all, guys? And you're not going looking for the information. You let it come to you. You let the visions unfold, the sensations. Clear your mind, put everything on the side. Releasing my sinuses. I do get some kind of sinusy stuff, actually, yes. And it's interesting because some of what you will pick up might not be like right now, but it might be like a part of your situation. So, and as you get into reading energy, every single person will have a specific pattern. So you might find that you pick up on medical intuition. Some people are very natural medical intuitive. Sometimes I do readings and I give people information about the smoothies they need to drink and what is in them, and then this woman does a research and finds out that it really helps with the heavy metal she's trying to clear. And it's like, you'll get information that you won't necessarily know about yourself, but you will be given that. And is she fully receiving? Right. Yes, I'm totally continuing to expand my receptivity for sure, which is a classic sort of independent woman kind of thing, right? Beautiful. These are really, really great. So every single thing I've read here has resonated, yeah? And even if not, some things are not totally, it's totally fine. The feeling of swaying in a hammock or patio swing, I like that. So let me tell you, Ezra, with this. So some of the times we'll get symbols and images that are metaphorically to be used. So for instance, I don't have a hammock or patio swing, but I have, that could be expressing a mood or a feeling or a particular behavior that kind of makes me feel like, gives me the feeling of swaying in a hammock. So being quite relaxed, being, enjoying myself and really having fun. So it's kind of like, sometimes it will be symbols. Like I had a reading on somebody whose ex got in touch with her back, and I saw him as a flower, like a really big white flower looking at her, and the inside of the flower was pink, and that was the love, and there was this aroma coming out, and there was the whiteness was the purity, that was pure intentions. So it was kind of like a feeling of like, yes, he's interested in her. It's definitely calm and relaxed and appreciating nature. Yes, I'm in a very calm and relaxed space in my life right now, and it feels like I'm reaping the rewards of kind of just all the roller coasters we've had to kind of go through over the years. Guys, you've done amazing on this, okay? You've had a taste, and everyone who's watching the replay, you will have gone through the process as well. Please share with me your findings on a reply on the email where you receive this replay. I'd love to know your findings, because like you see that hopefully this was enough evidence that it's a muscle, it needs a bit of warming up. We don't go straight into like lifting the big weights if we haven't warmed up, right? So you don't want to sabotage your growth. You want to keep on practicing, you want to keep on growing, you want to kind of do it in a way that really helps not sabotage your self-assurance and your trust and your skills and your gifts that you're exploring, right? So what I want to end with here, and I'm probably not going to do the audio because the healing clearing we were going to do, partly because I don't want to overwhelm people. actually, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And you can come back to it if you want to watch it. If you want to leave, you can leave in a minute. But I want to do it because it's going to help expand your energy. And I think it'll be a really nice way to finish. But I want to finish with something that's really important here, okay? And after this session, I want you to take this, tune into other people that you know, and go with your gut, with what the information you receive is. Yeah, you can do it on your family member, somebody you care about, somebody you know, or on something very simple. It doesn't have to be something that you feel very emotionally invested in. To kind of like, you know, keep it simple. It's up to you. But I want you to try it. So before I finish with the last point, I want to tell you about my 3-month mentorship. It's called Blooming. And the reason I felt inspired by the name Blooming is because I truly believe your psychic intuition is your innate skill and gift, that like the flower, it blooms from a seed, and that it just needs a little bit of watering, attention, love, and care and sunshine to be able to grow. And in the 3-month of mentorship, we go in depth into all the different elements of psychic development, reading of energy, translating energy, setting intention, neutralizing your energy, helping you integrate your gifts, understanding more about your style of reading. We do a lot of practice, right? So you develop practice over time with the people that will be on the mentorship. So you get an opportunity to really kind of develop that trust, really create that sacred space, and really water the plant, the seed, so that it kind of grows enough so that you can really, then you can feel robust enough to really allow it to kind of, yeah, affect your life, to really use it, to be able to, you know, make friends with it, and for that to be part of that ecosystem, right? And we're going to be going all the way till mid-December, just before Christmas. So you're going to be having weekly calls with me on a Zoom call. We're going to be having live tutorials. You're going to have 5 core modules, but 12 video tutorials and practice space with us every week. So it becomes a real unshakable kind of, in a way, thing, and you've grown the muscle, it's warmed up so much, and you've exercised it enough that now you trust it more. And despite the fact that it's a 3-month course, you do have lifetime access to the materials. So you're going to be able to, you know, go back to it, watch the tutorials again if you need to, really kind of like read some of the PDFs, the workbooks as well. And as I said, it's very much practice-based. And it's going to be wonderful to have you. And I want to tell you, because I've got a really special price at the moment for the first 4 people. But although the price of this program, of this 3-month mentorship, will eventually be at around £888 eventually, and my guys are showing me a lot more after that, I'm offering at the moment at £695. But for the next 4 people who sign up to it, you will have it for £555. I have 4-month installment payment plan or 6-month payment plan as well, for those who want to, who prefer, it's going to be easier. And yeah, for those 4 people, next people who sign up, you can have access to, you know, a bit more of an extra discount. Yeah. After those 4 people sign up, I will, the price will be £695. So bear that in mind. So this is a good time to do it. And as I said, you have a lot of practice time with myself. We're going to be channeling and tuning into energy of situations, homes, partnerships, circumstances, dynamics and relationships, your friends, your family, kids, business, the energy of your business. Do you know your business has an energy? Do you know your products, your offerings, if you have a business, anything? And we're going to look at your personal intentions, so how you want to integrate the practice. Because for one person it will be, yes, I want to have this as part of the skills that I use to have that extra skill in your business, in your work. For other people, it would be just for your family use and for being able to make better life decisions in that way. So we're going to work on very specific intentions. And trust me when I say I did not believe that one day I'll be using this skill in my business, and it'll be such a powerful grounding tool. And it has the capacity of becoming that. And I set you up on how you can continue growing after the 3 months are ended as well. That's an important part of the practice. We're also going to be doing energetic work. We're going to do some sacred soul alignments and energetic clearings around your psychic gifts. So the reason I want to bring that element of energy work is because I see how many blocks we have energetically to opening up more to our gifts, right? So we're going to do some energetic work. We're also going to have some regular practice around neutralizing your energy and set all those foundations on your energetic space, your mindset as well, and to really set the right tone for the seed to blossom, basically. And it'll be fantastic to have you on this. And yeah, we're going to be having an exclusive Facebook group where the lessons will be happening and where the community can come together and connect with one another. I know that from the results that I've had in the first program, it kind of like exceeded my expectations, to be honest. I saw what is possible, to how it's possible to open up for the women that have taken part and how they've been integrating it in their lives so much more now. And forgot to say, you're going to get a certificate. So I want to certify people because it is a skill that is an important skill and that I feel that you can really ground it. So everyone who participates and does the exercises and does the practice will get certificated as well. Yeah, so psychic development. I'd love to have you on board. I will leave the link below this video, or I will send also on the newsletter. If you sign up for the emails, I will send you the link there as well. I'd love you to have you on board if you feel this feels expansive for you, if that feels that something's going to support your growth and it's a skill that you think is going to bring more value to your life, to your work, to every area of your life. I'd love to have a chat, or just go ahead and sign up, and then I'll invite you to the Facebook group. So replay is available until Sunday, and then everyone who's participated on the live and then on the replay, you have entered a draw. So I will also let you know who's won the gift of the access to the membership. We have energy clearings, you've got crystal grids, you've got shamanic journeys, spiritual practices for a whole kind of year. But it's not kind of, obviously, it's not psychic development, but it's just kind of, you know, a little bit of support there for you. Now, I think that's it. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Feel free to ask. I want to give you a minute to see if there's any questions that you have, either about the course that I'm going to be running, about the practice. I hope that no matter what you do, this has been enough to give you a good taste of what is possible when you start bringing that attention to the skill that you have, that it's innate, that you can grow. I hope you see that there's possibilities there to want to do something about it. Yeah. But if I don't have any questions, yeah, because the practice essentially is what brings the integration of your gifts, yeah, and to really make them a big part of your life. I think I'm going to leave some of what I've written here because I really want to get you guys into a little bit of energy. So who's up for a little bit of energy work right now? Just to like let the dust settle, let everything that we talked about, the practice, you've done amazing. You should be proud of yourselves. Who's up for a little bit of energy work? If you are, stick around. If no, you can revisit on the replay, right? You can come back for it. But I want to like just really expand your energy a little bit. And I want to, I want you to just feel a little bit like, just get a bit of a taste of what it's like when you expand your energy field and you release you neutralize your energy. Cool. Yay. All right, stick around, guys. So if you need to have a sip of water or whatever, do that. I'm not going to do a loo break. You probably all need it, but I'm just going to go straight. It's going to be about 10-15 minutes. So I want you to close your eyes, guys. Just get yourselves all set up. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Just let this dust to settle a little bit. From all that we chatted, all that we learned. Just give yourself a moment to arrive fully in the space and call your name 3 times. Just see what it feels like being you right now. I want you to now just drop your energy. Let your energy drop into the earth. Let it go down from your body, your legs and your feet into the earth. Drop your energy all the way down into the middle of the earth, the heart of Mother Earth, where all this beautiful unconditional love of Mother Earth is. And as you're breathing in and out, I want you to let yourself be held and supported by Gaia and feel that lovely, nourishing energy moving through every cell and electron of your body. And let her energy hold you fully right now. As you're feeling this beautiful unconditional love of Mother Earth, I want you to bring that energy with your awareness, with your intention, back up through your feet, going up your legs, into your base chakra, and into your womb. Let it move into your sacral. Let it open, clear, and align your sacral chakra, moving up your solar plexus, opening up, clearing, and aligning your solar plexus, moving up your heart energy, your heart space, really letting that unconditional love of Mother Earth mix with your own energy, your own heart energy, letting it expand, heal, and soothe. Moving up your throat chakra, opening it up, clearing it, up into your third eye, between your eyebrows, letting it open, clear, and align with the rest of the chakras. And finally into your crown chakra, letting it open, clear, and align so you can receive more universal energy, more downloads, connection. I want you to now go all the way up and out of your crown chakra. See your energy move all the way up, up, up through the sky and move through the planets and the stars out into our solar system, Milky Way. Just see your energy going higher, up, up, up through the white lights, through the dark lights and more of the white lights, through all the different laws of the universe, going up, 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 the jelly-like substance of the universe, until you finally reach this iridescent white light, the home of the Creator, and just becoming one with that energy. Breathing it in and out. And just letting anything that doesn't match that energy, any worry or stress or people that bother you, just let it all slide, let it all fall off. Just breathing in and resting in that energy for a minute. Beautiful. Letting that beautiful unconditional love of the Creator expand and lighten your energy. Release any knots, discomfort, mental, emotional, physical. Just let it all go. Let it go. And as you're breathing in and out, I want you now to let that energy travel back down with you, your energy body, through all the different layers of the universe, through all the different lights that you've come through, catapulting back down again through the cosmos, through the stars and the planets, traveling through and into the Milky Way and solar system, and finding it going back into your soul star above your crown chakra and into your crown, landing back into your body, into your third eye, your throat, and landing back into your heart's space. And now you have the unconditional love of Mother Earth and the Creator in your own heart space. From this space, I want you to visualize this beautiful light, this beautiful golden light, expanding from your heart space into your body. See it and witness it grow. Just visualizing all those particles of light, all this expansive energy, bringing so much beautiful light in your body, raising the vibration and helping dissolve everything that doesn't match it. So you're breathing in and out. Feel the particles of light in every cell and electron of your body. And feel that connection with your soul energy, as it's given space to pour through and to permeate all of your energy body. Let it grow and expand all around you, creating this shield of light all around your body. Beautiful. As you feel the expansion, allowing more of your soul energy to pour in, to pour through. Allowing that energy vibration to shift, to heal what in your body, your emotions and your mind needs healing right now, needs support, needs holding. Breathing it in and out. Beautiful. And allowing yourself noticing that you are one with those particles of light. Continue to expand, grow and evolve in your own body. You're the same particles in the universe, in the cosmos all around you. You're one and the same. A beautiful sphere of light all throughout your body and outside. I want you to now start making it smaller and bring it back into your heart space. Knowing that you can expand and contract it anytime you want. And let it come back into your body now. And let it safely be stored into your heart space as you're breathing in and out. And when you are ready, you can just wiggle your feet and your hands, your fingers. Bring your awareness back into the space. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Okay. So everyone, I'm just going to say thank you so much for taking part, giving 2 hours of your time to be part of this class. I hope that it was a good experience. I hope that you've got something from this that has been a good taster of what's possible to grow and how you can grow this seed in your life so that it takes has a deeper effect into your life as well. And I'm pleased to hear that you enjoyed it. And yes, the replay will be shared shortly. Thank you again. If you are interested to work with me for the next 3 months in your psychic development, please be in touch. Let me know, and I would love to have you on board. And have a really beautiful day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.